I decided to buy a new bed, and I've never actually done that before. I walked into a mattress store for the first time. It turns out mattresses can be very expensive. I didn't know this at all. Like $2,500 upwards of $3,000. Guy at the store came up to me. I'm like, hey, buddy, there's no way I'm paying these prices. He tries to feed me the whole, you spend a third of your life sleeping. Don't you think it's worth the investment? So I said, look, I spent maybe a 12th of my life masturbating, and I still don't pay for porn. So please don't try to teach me the value of $1. All right, pal? Found out that day foam mattresses are really popular. Like half the stores foam mattresses. I can't do a foam mattress. I don't know about you all. I'm used to a terrible spring mattress. Like foam, you lay down and you sink in slowly, and it's just gross to me. Like I don't even like to imagine it. There's no bounce to foam Like, can you have sex on a foam mattress? Let me rephrase that. Will someone have sex with me if I buy a foam mattress? Wow, I'll spend that $3,000 if that's all it takes. I had to buy bedding for the new bed, went to a couple stores, didn't like what I saw, had to go online. Now, online research is a deep, dark, dangerous place. You start somewhere, you really don't know where you're gonna end up. I Googled the difference between a comforter and a duvet, and I looked up, and it was 4 days later, and I still didn't know that question. You all seem like a pretty progressive bunch. I got a movie idea I want to pitch to you. You ready for this? All right, in this movie, a black dude goes around killing woke white people. But they're so woke that they're just okay with it. Like that's the general. It's a short movie. I feel like I get a lot out of it. I don't really do drugs like that, but I was thinking about it. I was trying to figure out why. What in my life has led me down this path of responsibility? And I think it all goes back to this DARE assembly I had in the 7th grade. Now, are we familiar with the DARE program? So this isn't what you're picturing, okay? This is what I remember as a very big budget DARE assembly. Like they had our entire middle school gather into our gym, and then they put up this giant projection screen and they show us this video. Now in this video, there's a teenage couple driving in the snow, maybe somewhere in the Northeast, right? They pull over to the side of the road to do drugs. What drugs? They never specified, which I always thought was weird given it was a drug awareness assembly. Anyway, they do the drugs, and the girl immediately dies. And the guy, understandably, starts freaking out and crying because he can't drive to a hospital because the snow gets too heavy, and then the screen cuts to black, and a Linkin Park song starts playing. Like, that was a real video. Someone got paid to write that. I still don't know if the lesson was not to do drugs or not to do drugs in a car in a snowstorm. Like, DARE was a government agency. They had to go through several levels of approval. Somebody very high up watched that video and was like, no, yeah, this makes sense to me. Kids hate dying, but they do love Linkin Park, so let's send them this next message. Hopefully they make the right decision in the future. I'm on the dating apps. Anyone else here on? No? Okay. Well, to be fair, that's what it feels like sometimes. I'm on the dating apps. I do okay. I'm not like crushing it. I do okay. To be honest, I thought I'd be doing better. I found out recently though how research shows that men of certain demographics actually get much less engagement comparatively from women when it comes to any sort of online dating, which makes me feel so much better about myself. I don't even know if that's true. Please keep saying that. I thought it was maybe ugly and unappealing this whole time. Turns out it was just racism. Thank God. My ego couldn't take that. Every time I swipe and I don't get a match, I was like, damn, she must have been a terrible person. Last couple girls I've gone out with, they've been a bit younger than me, like 23, 24. I'm not that much older. I just assume I can handle it. I got like a young energy, but no, it's different. It's not what I expected at all. They always want to stay out way past my normal bedtime and ask me about music I've never heard of. One of them went to the same college as me. She would ask me these questions like, oh, did they have this when you were in school? Did they have that when you were in college? I was like, yeah, we had Wi-Fi. How old do you think I am? Not a fair question. I'm a vegetarian, but I have always been a vegetarian. I was born this way. And society wasn't always supportive of this lifestyle. What I mean by that is food choices were hard to come by growing up. I'm talking school lunches, fast food, restaurants, that sort of thing. But the world has since adjusted. There's a lot more options now everywhere you go, and a lot of people are becoming vegetarian as a result. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't like that all these people are doing it, that it's so popular, now that it's easy, there's no more struggle. I'm not okay. That's why I feel like if you give up meat today, you need to go through a hazing ritual, all right? For 5 years, whenever you eat a meal, you will sit next to someone who will ask you nonstop what you can and cannot eat. I used to get these questions all the time. Can you eat fish? No. Can you eat a watermelon? What? Yeah, why would I be able to eat a watermelon? You mean like a whole watermelon? Probably not. One of my idiot friends in high school used to always be like, can you eat pussy? I was like, no, Louis, none of us do. We're all virgins. Don't you remember? My ego is so big, like it's huge, it's absolutely enormous, but that's not justifiable by any real world measure. Like I don't have any friends, I don't have a girlfriend, I'm nobody special at work, but every day my brain is constantly like, wow, you're killing it right now, keep going. To give you a concrete example, I listen to a lot of podcasts, right? And podcasts tend to be conversations between multiple people, and more often than not, I will pause said podcast and out loud to no one in particular, I will share my perspective on the conversation at hand. That's how much I value my own opinion and want to hear the sound of my own voice.